And welcome back to the Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show as we now
go.
sit down with our final guest of the night, Coach Leonard Bishop. Coach, how's it going?
Yeah.
Great, brother. How about yourself?
Oh, it's same here.
I hear that.
I get to talk to you guys.
There you go.
Well, Coach, how was your Thanksgiving? You guys got to play a little action on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, it was great. Again, I was in Puerto Rico on the beach, chilling, and
It's
got
a
to play
Wednesday.
2 games out there. Got to get a tan, if you can't tell. So it's a good time out there in Puerto Rico.
Now, I know you guys had to get some action in on Thanksgiving Day, but I've gone around the table. I got to ask, do you have a favorite Thanksgiving food?
So favorite Thanksgiving food's got to be turkey, a little bit of dressing,
There you go.
with gravy on it. With some mac and cheese. So, and then obviously you can't forget the yams and the cranberry sauce. So that's my perfect plate right there.
Gotcha.
We were in Puerto Rico, so we ate rice and beans. But again, that's when I'm in the States, that's what I'm going for.
There you go. Are you like Coach Brian, where everything can touch, or it's got to be all separate?
Yeah, I'm not segregating the food. It can all.
Well, awesome. And Coach, you talked about Puerto Rico. Let's jump into it. Besides the rice and beans, you guys finished out that trip. Before we actually get into the games, how was the traveling for you guys, and what did you guys get to do while being off the court?
Yeah, I mean, traveling was fun. Again, anytime you get the players out of their normal environment, get them to see something new. Again, I love the travel to Puerto Rico just because it is a foreign country. Yet you don't have to get passports. So again,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, U.S. territory. So
there you go.
Again, kids get to feel the Latin culture of Puerto Rico, get to see what it's all about, but also we get to play and represent the university and Lady Jack brand. So really had a fun time traveling there.
Obviously,
got
turkey.
to visit Old San Juan, which is colorful, and I'm sure if you're on Instagram, you'll see a lot of our girls' pictures and posting and things like that. And then our hotel was right there on the beach, so again, you can get to the pool, you can get to the beach right there, and so it was a really good time for our team.
Yeah, I definitely saw some of the pictures, and my goodness, what a beach that was. The sunset, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, again, we're coming back to cold and rainy weather here in Nacogdoches. I always tell recruits it's always sunny in Nacogdoches, but today it's been really cold and rainy, which makes us even more grateful for the time we got in Puerto Rico.
And jumping into Puerto Rico, as far as the matchups go, you guys face off against Hampton and Longwood University. Tell us a little bit about both those games and what knowledge did the Lady Jacks bring back from both those matchups?
No, that's a great way of putting it, the knowledge that we brought back. Because again, we still got a young group that's still gelling together. A lot of freshmen and sophomores, with only one senior on the team. And so we got into that Hampton game, and I thought that was going to be a knockdown, drag-out game for us. And we got up pretty early and kind of got up to a 19-point lead. And credit to Hampton, they didn't go away. They're well coached and they have a lot of talented transfers on their team. I think we counted, they have 5 P5 transfers on their team. And so they didn't go away without a fight. But ultimately our group, I thought, learned how to close out games and to make the right decisions late. And then we got to Longwood, who's preseason second in the Big South. And is talented and has a lot of seniors on their team. And again, I thought we battled. And there were ebbs and flows in that game, and then I think we learned some lessons on just timely mistakes. I thought we played well. I thought there were times where we had opportunities to take the game, and we just made some timely mistakes, whether that be miscues, turning the ball over, or defensive mistakes. And then ultimately we didn't shoot the ball well. If you go back and look at our field goal percentage, I think it was relatively not what we should normally shoot. And so, we can talk about missed shots, but that's going to happen. So what we talked about to our team is just making those decisions, the right decisions at the right time, because even in games we don't shoot the ball well, we still want to come out victorious.
Absolutely. And one of those players that did have overall a great time out there in Puerto Rico, Chalk Gardner, recorded back-to-back double-doubles, was named Southland Conference Player of the Week. Not only talk about her performance in Puerto Rico, but also talk about the impact she's had overall this young season.
Yeah, no, I'm extremely proud of Chalk Gardner, a kid that came to us from upstate New York a year ago. And again, you worry about kids coming that far away from home and playing basketball and having to go through those growing pains as a freshman. But, again, she won a championship. She was a starter for about 10 games on that team. And so I thought she learned a lot, and we're actually reaping the benefits of, all those things that she learned as a freshman, putting in the work now. And so I challenged her to go start rebounding and grabbing everything with 2 hands. And I think really that Houston game, we challenged her to in a matchup defensively, and I thought she took that and spearheaded it on, and has really been running ever since. And so I'm proud of the growth that she's shown, and I'm really ready to see where she goes to next.
And what does it mean to see her get that conference recognition overall, just get that conference player of the week? I mean, that's a big title.
No, again, whenever we get individual accolades, it's all about the team. Again, the team is allowing her to have that level of success. But also, like I said, for her, watching her growth from a freshman to a sophomore, and now hopefully this gives her that opportunity to, say like, hey, I've arrived here, and now she can continue to have performances like that. Because again, I think we're going to need a child and that type of level of production going forward.
Absolutely. You guys, 7 games in, you come in at 5-2. How have you seen this team, overall team, grow early on, and are there any exciting strengths that you've seen from this team comparatively to where last year's team was comparatively now?
Yeah, I think this team is a lot different than the team last year. I think we rally off a lot of our defense this year. And when we're getting deflections and we're getting out in transition, again, last year's team was good in transition, but it was just because we were good in offensive transition. I think this team, we get deflections, we get out in transition, we share the ball, and then we finish around the rim. And so continuing to work on that and master that is going to be something that I'm going to ask of our young ladies. But this team is rounding into shape, and like I said, these freshmen and sophomores are continuing to add experience, and game experience can be valued at this point for sure.
And before we get into the upcoming matchup for you guys, conference play does start next week for you guys against UTRGV. What are you most looking forward to as league play gets closer and closer?
Again, the non-conferences to set you up for a good conference season. And so you talked about the knowledge that we've learned. I'm ready to see that knowledge applied in the Sawmill in games that mean a lot. We talked about setting a goal to be at the top of our league in the regular season and to compete for a regular season championship. And so that starts next week. And so I'm ultimately ready to see the focus and the intensity our team comes and attacks practice with and ultimately performs on the big game time line.
And you guys got Saturday Night Fever in the Coliseum as the Jacks will host the Texas State Bobcats at what could be one of the latest starting games, as tip-off is at 8 p.m. You faced off against this team last year. You're able to come back in the second half, take down the Bobcats. Now it's rematch time. What can we expect in this matchup against Texas State?
No, 2 really good teams. Again, I think Texas State is really good offensively. They got a couple kids that are really shooting the ball very well. They're coming off of a win where they scored over 100 points. So offensively, they're feeling really good about themselves. Ultimately, we've got to come in and do our job. We're focused on us. We got to put together the best 40 minutes that the Lady Jacks can put out there, and business will take care of itself. So we respect what they have. We understand that they've been a really good team. We played them in the WNRT a couple years ago here at home as well. So they're a formidable foe, one that we used to see in the Southland all the time back in the day. And so ultimately, I'm ready to get after it and see where our team has grown since the Puerto Rico game.
And I know we got to take it one game at a time, but one game that I do have marked on my calendar, just because we won't have another coaches show, I believe, between now and then. Only one non-conference game left, and then you've also got that trip to Arkansas, who the Jacks have not seen since the 2023 WNIT matchup. Yes. Are you looking forward to that? Looking forward to anything on that trip to Fayetteville?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. Again, obviously, it's an opportunity for us to showcase our talents on the P4 stage. We won one of those games here at home, and now it's our opportunity to go on the road and do the same. Little fact is that game in the WNIT in Fayetteville was the last time I was an assistant coach.
Really?
So again, a little bit of special meeting there to go back to Fayetteville and take on the Razorbacks. But ultimately, again, they're a really good team. They're well coached. Coach Music has done a great job in taking over that program. And so we're going to have to be dialed in and ready to shoot the ball and ready to defend on both ends of the court. So I think it'll be an exciting game for Lady Jack fans. And if we have any in the Fayetteville area, they need to step on out and wear some purple.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, next matchup against Texas State. How important is it to get the Coliseum rocking?
No doubt. Again, it's a late game, as you said, because we have an extremely important football game that day that everybody needs to make sure that they're at and wearing purple because it is a purple out. Now, make sure you're wearing the right shade of purple because they're going to be 2 purple teams.
Yes.
But then, again, later on that evening, we got Texas State, and I'm always the most important game on your schedule is the next one. And we're coming off of a loss, and so again, I'm ready to see what our team has in the tank and how we've been refocused after a week of practice.
Coach, Before we wrap things up, anything else you got for Jack Nation?
Yeah, I mean, I just talked about our football team. I don't want to leave out Debbie and the volleyball team and what an amazing season they've had, and being regular season champs and tournament champs, and now taking TCU on in the NCAA tournament. I told her before the radio show started, take the horns off the frogs. And
there you go.
Let's go do our thing out there. So I'm extremely happy with their success and their team success, and it's a great time to be a Lady Jack and a Lumberjack. Like I said, football's doing well, men's basketball is doing well, volleyball is doing well. Track and field's kicking everybody's butt. So
women's basketball is doing great.
We're doing our thing. We're doing our thing. And so again, excited to be a Jack, excited to be here. And again, if you have an opportunity to check out any one of these teams, whether it's on the road or at home, make sure you're supporting these young student athletes because they're giving their all and representing Nacogdoches in our university.
Coach, thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Action Jacks.
Yeah. All right, and we'll wrap things up here at Buffalo Wild Wings. We want to thank you all for being here, and to all those who tuned in. Remember, you can get tickets, catch all the live interviews, listen to game day action, and much more by downloading the Jax app onto your mobile device. Once again, thank you all, and you've been listening to the Coaches Show at Buffalo Wild Wings on the Lumberjack Sports Network from Learfield. Good night, everybody.